Abraham and Isaac from Genesis. In 21, we hear of the birth of Isaac. 21 verse 1. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah, as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. Abraham gave the name Isaac to the son Sarah bore him. When his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him as God commanded. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me. And she added, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age. And she was old as well. She was far past childbearing age when she bore Isaac, but God had promised. Chapter 22, I stopped at verse 7, so that was 21, 1 to 7 in Genesis. Genesis chapter 22, Abraham tested. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. Then God said, take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and saddled his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship and then we will come back to you. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the 2 of them went on together, Isaac spoke up and said to his father, Abraham, Father? Yes, my son, Abraham replied. The fire and wood are here, Isaac said, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the 2 of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told them about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham! Here I am, he replied. Do not lay a hand on the boy, he said. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. Abraham looked up, and there in the thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called the place, the Lord will provide. And to this day it is said, on the mountain of the Lord it will be provided. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time and said, I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possessions of the cities of their enemies. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed because you have obeyed me. Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. And that was verse 19. You may see the obvious in here, but you may have missed something if you did not chapter 22, verse 6. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. Isaac carried the wood to the place where Abraham was going to sacrifice him. Just as Jesus carried the cross to Golgotha, where he was to be crucified and died. Because Abraham would not hold back his only child, his only son that the Lord gave him. The Lord never asked him again, never asked anyone again to sacrifice their children. Because, so as this was a test, of course, and whether Abraham knew that God would provide, would never ask him to actually do it. Well, he did ask him, right? He had faith enough to know that God will take care of it, whatever that was going to be. Whether he actually had to go through with it, or whether he provided the ram. And that's what he told his son. He told his son that God will provide. And it's amazing, the kind of faith that Abraham had, which is why all the descendants are blessed. Abraham's faith just, it's a picture of how we should be. We should trust the Lord with everything, because he will provide. And there's so many stories of the Lord providing for people. But he comes through in big ways. But he also comes through in the small things that we need as well. So, have faith in the Lord. Trust on his promises to you. And just trust in that every day. Each day you wake up, make a conscious effort to thank the Lord for waking you up and giving you breath. And ask him what's in store for you. Ask him to bring people into your lives that need to be brought into your lives. But to do that, you better be ready. By being in prayer and knowing his word, you need to be ready in case somebody asks you, how is your faith so strong? And you could be honest and say, I don't think it's so strong, but yes, I do trust the Lord. And you can give him an example. You don't have to have every word written down on paper or have everything memorized. You should know a few verses. John 3:16 is the easiest, right? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not die, but have everlasting life. Go with God. Peace and love and blessings to your families. And just never give up on the Lord. He never gives up on us. Have a great evening.